Hi guys, can you see me? Hi guys. It looks like it might only be us three right now, and that's okay with me if it's okay with you. Let me know if everything's working okay. Oh, it says we have 5 people, so I guess some haven't told us who they are. They're in hiding. Can you guys hear me? Yes, no, maybe. Are we on? Give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know so we'll start blabbing. Good. Okay. Great. Perfect. Thank you guys. Okay, so it looks like there's about 6 of us here now, so that's a good thing. If you guys want to remain anonymous, that's of course your choice. If you want to say hi, I think we're getting a really great little community of people here. So say hi if you're here. We'd love that. And of course, put any questions. So it's been I'm going to take the glasses off. I hate them. So it's been, well, maybe I have to keep them on because I can't see. Okay, so it's been a really kind of wild week with the Supreme Court and stuff. And now the USPS, Postal Service, is refusing mail ballots from states without voter lists. It says Steiner testified on June 24th before the Senate Homeland Security Committee that the Postal Service would not deliver mail-in ballots. Yes! Under a proposed rule tied to President Trump's March 2025 Executive Order 14248, which seeks to verify citizenship and prevent non-citizen voting through voter list checks. He cited past errors like a Maryland printing mishap to justify ensuring ballots to make sure that they reach the intended recipients. Federal judges, of course, quickly tried to intervene, with Obama appointees permanently blocking key order provisions on June 24th and halting the USPS restrictions on the 25th, citing limitations of executive power over state elections, blah, 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 the same stuff. So he's getting the normal resistance that he always gets, and that's what we're going to have to deal with until these people step in line. Hi, Rockstar. How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. What do we got here? Today, but okay otherwise. Dad's sleepy. Hey, he can be sleepy. He's allowed. That's okay. Just make sure it's not the drugs. I hope you ran everything through that, the things that I gave you. And then we've got Letitia, new. Hi, Letitia. How are you? Let's see what you got here. I'm not good at this yet. Citizens should be the only ones voting. I love the ruling. Me too. Me too. It was a good thing, and we've got to stop it. They're going to fight us every step of the way. But the Supreme Court judgments this week were really good. I'm working on the meds link. Okay, great. It's really easy. You just put everything in there and it'll tell. And of course, like I said, always you can contact me and we can, I can give you a little more guidance on how to use them. So that's really good. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, you know what I wanted to say? We don't have her here. We don't have Vixen here today, but 3 of you were talking about health concerns. I know, woohoo, on the Supreme Court. Patricia, you're wonderful. Letitia, Patricia said hi to you. When I went through the concerns that you guys had, every single one of those things had potential etiologies, which means causes that were related to plastics. So please, please, please review that plastic video on the lab, on the Clean Living Lab, if you haven't been there yet, Letitia, and do everything you can. Please, please. These plastics, I'm really beginning to think, are one of the greatest hazards we have. And that's why I did it first, because it's so hard to get them out of the body once they're in there. But it can be done, because Tim and I have been off the plastics now. We went whole hog about 2 months ago. I started the cleansing, and I'm kind of actually amazed at the change in my body. I'm not feeling inflammation anymore. I was getting, because I work on the computer so much, I was getting a lot of pain in my hands, and my dad had really, really bad rheumatoid arthritis. And these last 2 months, since I've been cutting those plastics out, the pain in my hands has really gone away. So that's a good thing. I'm really glad about that. Let's see. Let's go over those other things. We got no questions yet. Feel free to blab and ask questions. Let's see what else we got. They're looking for this lady, this woman that's throwing algae into the pool, and apparently they've cleaned it up again. And I did find videos so that you know, because I know there's a lot going on about that. Not that it really is a big deal, but it's just all part of the movie, part of the show. But they actually have videos of a guy ripping the lining off the pool. So it's not that it's degrading or that he's done anything wrong. People were actually vandalizing it and pulling the lining off the pool. So I wanted to tell you guys that. Oh, guess what else? John Bolton pled guilty to retaining classified information. He only got 5 years and a fine, and that's probably could even be bargained down. Who knows? But the bottom line is, it's a foundation. He's admitted that he retained classified information, and that sets a precedent for, in my opinion, it sets a precedent for treason. It's just one more thing, because a stupid classified information conviction, that's not going to do anything. Where we're going with all these people is treason, which will knock them into tribunals world, not it's not going to be the U.S. military tribunals. There's actually a court in the Netherlands that handles criminal tribunals worldwide. It's called the International Criminal Court. So that's where this is all going, if you haven't heard that yet. And it's going to be a really cool thing. And of course, Iran turned around and they bombed Oman. And so now there's a big thing there. I don't know what Trump's waiting for, but it's just almost like a repetitive over and over again. Maybe he's afraid of being called a warmonger if he attacks them. Too bad. Maybe they do have things where they're using their people as human shields. We don't know why he hasn't done it yet. And I know there's the ex-president before the Ayatollah came in is who they're trying to hopefully usher into that. But they bombed another ship. So, and there's also landmines. They found another Iranian landmine. So that drama continues. What do we have here? Let me just take a look here. Yes, he did plead guilty. Can you believe that? No, Timmy's at work. I wish he was here, but he's at work. Oh, there he is. He's on the live. Yes, baby, I can see it. I didn't see that. You guys saw it before me. Wow. Patricia's right on the ball, isn't she? So, so that's the news. You're coming through loud and clear. I know, treasonous rats. Tell me about it. I pray what's really happening every day is okay. My prayers are with them. Let me share a little bit, Shelley, on this from my understanding of how this is all working. And a lot of this comes from letter 17. If you guys don't know what that is, that's Q. We try not to say it too much because it's highly censored. But what we have been told is that it's all over but the shouting, okay? That and when you follow the drops that are in number 17, you can see the things that they were saying then are happening years later, 10 years later. This is not something that's just happened as it appears to be. If you look at the capitulation tour video on this channel, you can see how on his first term, the goal was to go around and create the Earth Alliance. So get all of these leaders. Some of them did it good, and Putin was all about it. Putin does not want control by the elite. He never did, and he's really gotten a bad rap, just like Trump has in a lot of ways. So Trump went around in the capitulation tour, and he set up a lot of laws also that we don't see. Now, Biden came in right away and switched him, and he just, on his first day in, undid a lot of Biden's. And what he didn't undo, of course, I think the auto pen is going to be the undoing of everything he did. Um, so we're watching a movie, and I know Patricia has. It's occurred to her that yes, I can see this happening. It's these narratives are too bogus. It's just not fitting together like this is happening naturally. And then of course Trump on Truth Social, not on X, but if you want a channel that's nicer people, kind of, not always, but that Trump is on, and where he posts these things, these heads up, it's Truth Social. He owns the channel. It's pretty good. It's not as big as X, of course, so it doesn't have quite the content that X has, but X has a lot of jerks on it too, and a lot of AI and misinformation on X. So if you're on X, always hit that button that I showed you on one of the other videos, and make sure that you're not looking at AI and getting yourself all riled up and angry about AI. The laws and the regulations were great Trump's first term. Yeah, it was. So you did research them. That's good to know. So please, I want you guys to understand that anger, fear, all of the low vibrations are what they are trying to do so they can destroy us from within. They're pitting us against each other. This black-white narrative has gotten insane online. All you see on there is blacks behaving badly. Now, I'm not saying they don't, okay? Many, in fact, almost all of the ones that I checked were legit. But my point is, I've seen a lot of people of other races being real jerks too. Why don't they show some pictures of some jerk in a truck on your back of your car, on your bumper, and shooting you a bird or whatever? You know what I mean? So it's a clear narrative to separate the races. It's very, very obvious to me. And yes, there are cultural issues sometimes. A lot of blacks we know, I don't know why, but not all. These are the ones we see. But a lot grew up without fathers, and the mother's working 3 jobs or whatever, or she's looking for another man and twerking and not teaching the proper values. We're all going there. If you understand what 5D is, 5D is the 5th density. That's going to make us a better civilization overall. It's going to give us more powers of intuitive. It's going to make us more compassion. It's going to compassionate to others. Overall, it's just going to create a vibrationally elevated society. And it's going to be like anything else. So either you go along or you don't, and there's always going to be evil and there's always going to be good. But I think we're going to see an overall vibrational shift very, very soon. And I'm already beginning to see it. And I do my best when I'm on these various social media channels. I try to be as kind as possible, and I try to drop hints about integrity and so forth, so that if somebody posted something really stupid or bad or whatever, mean, hopefully when someone mentions integrity, if they hear it enough times, maybe they'll look within. I don't know. You learned frequency from me? That's amazing, Patricia. It's helped me on a personal level. It is, right? I mean, we've all been through so much. We've lost a lot. We're all in this together. It's not like, this issue targeted certain people. Everybody's been damaged by this. Everybody. And it's easy to get down and look at it as poor me, poor me, poor me. And it's the little wins that do it for us. Like Letitia and Patricia were saying, these little things like Bolton pleading guilty, and the UPS saying, no, we're not going to drop those votes off to be counted if you don't take identifications in that state. So it's the little things. And when you see them, don't focus on the negative, because that only feeds more negativity, and we're never going to evolve. So focus on the little things. Always be grateful. You have your health. You have whatever is in your life. You have your brain. You have, we had someone on here Tuesday, And I won't say the name just because, it's a personal thing, but the person, he did put it on there, but um, he's a paraplegic. And if anybody wants to complain, that's the kind of person that does it. And it broke my heart, and it always does. So it's important when we're in those positions, because we know, I don't know if you guys saw that that one about the Grabovoi frequencies. Became clear that at that point there's parts of the matrix, and not the artificial matrix. I'm sorry, not the matrix. Part of the vibrational field that surrounds us, where there's health over here. Certain frequencies are health, certain frequencies are love, certain frequencies are financial abundance, and so forth. And so if we align we know for a fact, in fact, there's data that with just frequencies, they did grow heart tissue in a lab. So from nothing, from no cells, I think I would have to go back on that, but I remember there were cells, but there were no chemicals. There was no science behind it, no big pharma behind it. The frequencies caused it to proliferate, and they grew a piece of heart muscle. And so that tells us that is our health, the higher frequencies: gratitude, love, anticipation. Anybody want me to post the chart that we put? I'm using the board more. It says posts on the channel. I call it the community board. So I've been using that a little bit more, and I want to start posting things on that, more like a Facebook type thing or an X type thing, so that I can post images for you. I can post news for you, or things that happen on there, and you don't have to sit through a whole video if you want a quick thing, or if you want to talk about it. So come on, guys, we got 12 of you. What do you want to talk about? Let's see. Letitia's on board, aren't you, Letitia? She understands what's going on. She's talked about the evil cabal and what's going on with that. And Tim, you want me to post them on there? Okay, I will, honey. Cabal will win if we go at. You're right. You're absolutely right. But let me tell you one thing, Letitia. I know you weren't on the last live stream. Numerous sources, and one source that was my most trusted source, has told me that various people have seen 2030, the year 2030. And this is done by a technology called the looking glass, as well as something called remote viewing, which remote viewing is an energetic transfer. And they've been to 2030, and we win. We do win. Remember the movie War Games, where they sat there and over again, the machine kept trying all these combinations to see who could win, and nobody won. That you can be certain that the moves, that's the 5D chess match that you're hearing about. There have been back and forth moves over and over again. And this game, if you want to call it a war game, has been run through multiple simulations. And like I said, multiple people have seen 2030, and we have substantially completed the shift in 2030. So that's that might give you a little more. The cabal's not going to win, sweetie. Don't even think for 1 second they are. What they are going to do is they're going to drag this along as long as they possibly can. And they may kill some of us. We lost Dan 12 days ago now. Okay. I'm hoping that he's going to another place, but to help other civilizations. But I don't know yet. I don't know. I think that he's probably in good hands. Let's put it that way. The Tesla podcast was off the chart. So interesting. Yeah, isn't that something? So if you guys didn't see it, it was Trump's uncle, John, that was the one that was tasked by the military because of his background in electrical, high power electricity, the military tasked him with reviewing all of Tesla's records that they seized. And when the records were transferred over to his homeland for a museum, some of them were missing. There were 80, what do you call those big things? Chests, 80 chests of records. And when they got over there, a bunch of them were missing. So I wouldn't be surprised if, I think the whole energy thing is what's going on, what they fear the most. From way back when, they don't want us to have energy and the mastery of energy. And so what they did is they seized Tesla's records, they buried him, but I'm hoping, it's kind of odd that Trump has been put in this position. And also, Dan had just completed, last year, he had told me in an email that he had completed the frill generator and secured the core so it couldn't be reverse engineered. And I went, when I was doing the video, a recent video on my emails with Dan, and his site that gave out the free blueprint to make free energy has been taken down. It's like a deja vu. It was just unbelievable. So it's the energy. They don't want us to have the free energy, because once we have that, they lose absolute control. Hi, Jeff. I'm so glad you made it. I'm so glad. I hope it's not inconvenient. If you guys have a better time, please let me know. I'm trying to reach everybody with the 2 p.m. ones, or a little earlier for people. Almost everybody wanted something not early in the morning, and I'm not a real good morning person. This gets me time to get acclimated, take care of my hydroponics, and, relax. I got to get back on my exercise. I feel myself getting a little chubby again. But good. Thank you, Jeff, for letting me know that. You were at the store. I hope buying something good. I believe the time travel is real and the quantum leap is real. You're absolutely right. The how do I put this? I got to be real careful too. The time travel that we note with remote viewers, so that you don't understand, they don't go anywhere, okay? But there are ways that people can transport physically their physical bodies. The problem is when we get to certain frequencies, the body can't take it, and it can be harmful. So many do it remotely. I have personally done astral projection, and it was for a very brief moment, because when I did feel my spirit leaving my body, I was pushed right in by the most horrible, most frightening experience I've ever had in my life. And the only thing I can say is that if you ever saw the movie The Golden Child, where that Noom guy came down and he was that monster that came down on Eddie Murphy, that's what this thing reminded me of. It was so scary, and it just, boom, popped me right back in. I know we can leave. I know our spirits can leave our bodies and travel. And the hardest thing is, guys, is to see that this flesh and blood is nothing but a vehicle that moves our true self around this universe. So for that reason, it's important to connect with the inner self and to begin identifying. When you see somebody, even if you don't like that person, try to look beyond the physical. Try to look beyond and see that there is a spirit inside. It might be broken, but there's an energy, and that energy is the energy of what some people call God or the Creator. It's infinite. Infinite energy can never be created or destroyed. There's no place when somebody dies, their energy, which has been measured by a very small loss of weight at death, that energy does not die with them, because we know from long time, that from physics, that energy cannot be destroyed. So when you look at people, try to see the Creator in everybody, because it's really there. And it's the hardest thing, this illusion that we live in, that has kept us as slaves, really, to a physical world, and it's not necessary. Let's see, Letitia, I like you, Letitia. Many times, people that don't care for or that we don't care exactly. She made a really, really good. They can kill the body, but not the souls. You're right, Patricia. But Letitia made a really, really good point. When you study Eastern religions, we're taught that the spirit, the soul, whatever you want to call it, chooses our life and our parents based on experiences that we need. So, for instance, let me see. So, I chose my family, whether I like it or not, and I love them. But I chose the experiences that I had in my life. I'll share some things with you guys. I was molested as a child. I was violently drugged and raped in my 20s. And so, I got as much, I've had as much heartbreak as anybody. And I want to call it trauma. But that violation of my physical body was never as painful as the violation of my spirit, which occurred when my dad was dying. So, with the family dynamics of that and stuff. And maybe that's because maybe the rape, I was drugged, and that kind of mitigated, because it was a long time ago. Obviously, if I was in my 20s, it was a long time ago. But at that time, we didn't know a lot about roofies, but I was a pharmacist and I had heard of them. And every experience, oh no, I wasn't a pharmacist yet. It was later. It was many years later that I realized what went down with me. But because at the time when it happened, we were dropped off in our room. I was with a girlfriend, and we had a babysitter because we both had a daughter. And we were dropped off in our room somehow. We have no memory of how we got there. Our car was not in the parking lot at the hotel, and somebody paid the babysitter because she left. It took us a long time to even understand what had happened to us. And then when I got into pharmacy, I realized that that's exactly what roofies do. And pieces came back over decades of what went down. And I still don't have a really good, clear memory of what happened at that time. So for me, yes, for my spiritual beliefs, they can do anything they want to my body, but they can't touch my spirit. And so that, as well as the fact that I was drugged and have less memory of it, made it easier for me. I'm not mitigating if it's happened to anybody and what you went through, believe me. In my opinion, what happened to me was a simple drugging and raping, and no torture or anything like that. The molestation was not a penetration type thing. So, as a child, so I don't want to mitigate anybody's trauma, believe me. But if you've been traumatized, remember that they can do what they will to your body, but they can't kill your spirit, just as Patricia has said. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So back to the back. Let me read these real quick. Choose our path, our family, but why can't we remember the contract? Oh boy. I don't know. It kind of threw me. Let's see. Oh, Shelley's got an answer. Maybe Patricia. They say is the amnesia we get coming into this life that made us forget our contracts. Okay. I can understand that. I have never gotten into the whole idea of contracts. I understand that people believe that we have them, soul contracts and stuff like that. To be honest, I've never really researched them. I don't feel like I'm under contract. I see existence more as an effortless, and they call it in China, they call it wu wei, and that is an effortless effort. And that's how I see my travels through my lifetimes, is that it's all effortless, that the creator, whoever that spark within me is, knows it all. And so I don't ever try and second guess the creator. I made that decision many, many years ago that I tried my whole life from the time I was a teen. I was a control freak. And I tried to ask Tim, you want to talk about that, Tim? But so my whole life I tried to figure out, why am I here? What's this all about? Blah, 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 blah. Just because I have a really inquisitive mind. And I finally hit a point because I'm trying to figure out, what is the whole purpose of all of this? Why are we here? And I had a lot of theories, and I had done a lot of internal study work and studying and so forth. But it finally hit me that, it's kind of impudent to think that this one little spark has the capacity to understand the creator's intent and purpose. So I believe that there's a cleansing, that there's a growing, that there's a knowledge, because energy has to keep moving. And if that doesn't happen, it can become stagnant. Maybe it can become more negative vibrations. I don't know, but I don't second guess why I'm here. I just know that I am, and I try to live up to a standard that I've set myself for myself, because people talk about being Christ-like, and then they turn around and they only do it in front of people. Let's put it that way. So for me, it's my standard that I'm living up to. Oh, Tahoe! Hi, Tahoe. How are you, sweetheart? You hanging in there, sweetie? She's got a tough one. We've done nothing, and I don't know if anybody on here knows how to create any kind of fundraising thing. Somebody said there was a better one, but Tahoe needs our help, and I wish I could take over. Thank you, Jeff. It's good to have you. Oh, there's Helen. Oh, is that Kitty by the door? The funny thing is, as soon as I start setting up this setup, he tried to jump up on the table. And and I'm like, no, get down. You can't do that. He's got to be right in the middle of these live streams for some reason. He's so inquisitive. And Pico's on the sofa in the living room sleeping. Pico doesn't come around unless there's food. All I have to do is open the refrigerator, and you'll see Pico and Wolfie pop up real quick because they get chicken. Okay, so we must go where we feel moved to. Exactly. It's the Holy Spirit. Exactly. So, it's kind of funny. Nomenclature that we were taught, we stick so much to a rigid 3D interpretation of what is taught in many, many religious teachings. We stick to a 3D. And I think that's where many people go wrong. We have to look beyond the 3D, and we have to look into the energetic aspect of what they meant. Not everything. I don't know if I talked about this on one of the streams, but one of the big ones that helped me, I studied Taoism for a long time, and the master of that is Lao Tzu. He's the one that basically wrote down the rules, and he wrote a book called the Hu Wa Ching, and it gave me clarity. I love the kitty. The kitty smile. Tim will love that one, but I think he might have had to go to work, actually. But oh wait. Oh my goodness. Wait, I gotta stop that. Hold on. Remind me if I forget. Tahoe sent me good news. Stage 0. Should be surgery, less invasive, no chemo, no radiation. I can't tell you how many prayers I've been sending to you, girl, and how I have prayed for your health. I can't, and not only your health, but your prosperity. And so I can tell you this. It's the best news I've had today, okay? I'm so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. It's a life-altering experience. One time, I used to do, when I was in Kung Fu, I used to do 100 push-ups a day. And my boobs were real firm back then. And for like the only time ever in my life, I had a sonogram done. And that's because I felt lumps. So I had a sonogram done. I forgot all about this. I went in there. They did them, not a sonogram, not a sonogram. What do they call that with the breasts? Help me out, guys. What do they call that? Anyway, you know what I mean, where they smash them in there. The guys don't, but they smash them in there and it hurts. I had to do it 4 times, okay? And they couldn't interpret it. And they kept looking at these lumps and stuff like that. I was scared to death. It was, and I'm researching, do I do a lumpectomy? Do I do a full mastectomy? What do I do? And after 4 times, I get back there and they tell me that I have very muscular breasts and it was muscle knots. And I'll tell you what, that was really a scary time in my life. So, mammograms, thank you. I don't get them. So, I rely on myself, but I'm not telling anybody to do what I do. This is what my personal choice is. Thank you, Patricia. Isn't that great how we can talk? Oh, Tahoe had it too. Things are going to change for her. That one thing, Tahoe, that occurred, the fact that this is readily treatable for you, that is just amazing, and it's just the start. You may have been going through what we call 4D, and it's rough going through it, it's hard going through it, but it will propel you to deeper understandings and a better connection with your inner self. You are elevating. So it is really, really wonderful news. So I don't know where I was with the other thing. Oh, the Chinese, Lao Tzu. Okay, so I was brought up a little Catholic girl in my little plaid skirt and my little plaid bow tie, and so I was always told these things. And I was that 5-year-old, literally 5-year-old in first grade, because I got in early because of my birthday. And every time these nuns would tell me this stuff, I'd be putting my hand up. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Can you explain that to me? And I would get hit in the head or with a ruler or hit my hands all the time. Oh, hi, Tony. I'm so glad you're here, Tony. Yep, we absolutely do, Tony. You're absolutely right. So I'd be the one, I was constantly getting hit with the ruler. But the Hua Ching by Lao Tzu had a lesson in there. And it's basically the way the Hua Ching is written is much different from his first book, the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is little parables, kind of, or little lessons on each page. You read one today, you think about it, blah, 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 blah. You read another one and you think about it. Whereas the Hua Ching is a little different. It's the chronicles of a student speaking to his mentor or teacher. And he's asking questions, and Lao Tzu is the mentor, and he's answering the questions. One of them, when I was reading that, just totally clarified things for me. I never could get the Immaculate Conception. I'm a science girl. Okay, you tell me how that happened. How this woman never had sex and her body created this baby. It's just not what we understand or know. Well, in the Hua Ching, Lao Tzu expresses it as the Immaculate Conception is the movement of the spirit into the body. So the fetus is already formed, and the Immaculate Conception moved the spirit in, and that's why it's called the Immaculate. And that made sense to me, that I could put my hands around. That was enough to shut me up for a while and placate my curiosity. So if you have never read Lao Tzu's works, there's a great one. It has both of them. It's called The Complete Works of Lao Tzu, and that's Laotsu or Tzu. It's spelled different ways. And it really brought me a lot of clarity. You can study it over and over and over again. It's not in conflict. I tried to show it to Tim when we first met, and he was like a Bible thumper then, and didn't understand anything he was telling me, or why. Probably didn't even read the Bible. I don't think. I think he told me he didn't even read it. But I tried to read the Tao Te Ching to him, and he refused to even listen because it said it was against the Bible. And it's not, guys. When you begin to see things from a more esoteric and not such a physical world. So many of these, they're totally consistent with each other. So I'm not a big religious person. I call myself a spiritual person, because to me that requires more responsibility. And I've always believed, and it's not a bad thing, but religions are there for people as guides. And when they give responsibility of their actions, and they mitigate their own responsibilities and say, oh, well, I'll be forgiven. Oh, well, whatever. I don't like that, because I think we need to take responsibility for our actions now. And I think there's a purpose for religions, and it keeps people on track, and there's very good things. I just think there's a lot of misinterpretations and a lot of people that use it as a way to look righteous. And the reason I say that is, when I was a drug agent, when there were several people, and it happened a lot. Let me say more than several. A lot of people, I'd walk in there, and as soon as I slapped that badge on them, they'd start showing me their kids at church and telling me what a great Christian they are. And right off the bat, without fail, every time they went overboard, I could sense it, with trying to convince me how righteous they were, and they were dirty as dirt. So I hate, and I don't hate anything, but I don't want to say that. I don't hate people, but it saddens me when people use religion to manipulate others. And it happens a whole lot. And it really upsets me. Okay, so let's see. So Patricia is raised Roman Catholic. So Shelley is more spiritual than religious. And you're right, Patricia. It's been infiltrated. Oh, wow. Patricia has been out of the medical system 6 years, by the grace of God, and she's been well. Not only has she been well, but she has been thriving like she hasn't in a long time. When I first met Patricia, she had her own issues. You can tell them, it's not my place to tell, but she's making great strides. Let me put it this way. She's not doing it. It's not just happening. She's taken I've never seen anybody more focused on changing her reality than Patricia. She takes notes during the videos that she watches. She takes notes, guys. Can you believe this? And she watches things over and over again. And not only does she listen, but she tries them. She takes action on them. So she tell us if you want. Oh, it will in private. Okay, I understand. So I do know your truth, Patricia, and that's why you are my butterfly. Patricia has transformed herself from the cocoon to the butterfly. She's the phoenix that's come up. We're all phoenixes in a way. I mean, I don't want to say it's only Patricia, because look at Tahoe. Tahoe's the phoenix too. She's coming out of this. She was kicked down hard, and she's coming out of it. And so we're all phoenixes, but I see, for some reason, see Patricia as a butterfly. She's become quite beautiful and evolved quite beautifully in the short time that I've known her. Let's all. Not at all about, forgot you were on. Is there anything, beer? Tell me, you went for beer. What kind do you drink, Jeff? I'm not a big beer drinker at all, but I do like a lager or some kind of heavy, dark type, heavily fermented beer. And one of these days, on the coming up soon, I'm going to make it a priority. We're going to make ginger beer, because so many people have digestive issues, and these poisons in our food are tearing up our guts. So I'm gonna make some homemade ginger beer. It does not have any alcohol in it. The reason they call it ginger beer, you'll see them Bundaberg in the stores now and all, is because it's fermented. It's so easy, just like the cold brew coffee was easy. So is the ginger beer. and I drink it, and it's almost like immediately, if I have any indigestion, and I do it prophylactically sometimes too. If I'm eating something or going out to eat somewhere where I know my food isn't so clean, then I'll drink the ginger beer if I get a little indigestion. But it's so easy to make. You ferment it for, I think it's, I'll have to look at it again because I'm due to make a batch soon. I just drank my last one. But we're going to do that too, and it's great. It's natural. It's clean for your digestion. Yes, ginger beer. I'm thankful for all it. You know, it's really weird how things go. At the darkest point in my life, this channel came to me. And then, after I put the first one, my first videos started with pet videos because I lost my pet that I loved so long, and we fought cancer for so long that she gave me 5 more years after I was told she would die. So I started with pet videos. And then I said, well, I'm a pharmacist. I learned how to do the videos. Let me put this up. And I did the medbed videos. Boom. Dan Willis, of all people, contacted me. Not online, not on the channel, in my personal email, which was nowhere to be found. So that was what propelled me to this whole thing. And now I get kicked down by YouTube. They demonetize me and suppress me. And now I have this wonderful opportunity to connect on such a deeper level with you guys. It's just amazing how it all works. So when you get kicked down, it doesn't mean you're down forever. I promise you that. Nobody knows more than me. I was suicidal at one point when I went through all that crap with my dad. And then this amazing man comes into my life and everything changes. It's never the end, guys. It's never the end. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Shelly. I take a lot. Oh, do you really? I have 5 notebooks full. You're funny as heck. That's amazing. I can't believe it. You never were much on the channel. You didn't comment a lot on the channel, Shelly. So I wasn't really aware that you were on there. So that's really kind of cool. It makes me feel good. Burn your hair about the church, not me. I don't get that one, Patricia. Burn your hair about the church, not me. I'm sure it meant that you're not just a blindless zealot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, alive on gut health. And okay, yeah. I think that's really important too, Shelly, because so many people, and again, I want you guys to tell me, I don't have Vixen here today, and I think she said she wouldn't be able to make it at all. But Shelly and Tony, let me know if you got the information that I posted. I posted on both comments, on some comments that you made on the actual videos that we do. I'm not sure which one. Did I also put part of it on the description of this video? But I want to take it down, and here's why. I don't want any garbage about, medicinal stuff or anywhere where they can hit me and pull my channel down or anything like that. So let me know if you got that stuff. Just say, yes, you're good to go, and I'll pull that down if you've copied it. And okay, the gut health. Every day I learn more and more about how we have been poisoned, and I am convinced, literally convinced, that 2 things are making us sick. And that is because we have pulled away from the health vibrations, the healthy vibrations, and we've allowed ourselves to become dark, live in despair and hate and anger and all that, because it's certainly clear to me that frequencies, and like I said, they've grown heart tissue now with frequency, that frequencies definitely can help or harm our physical state. Laugh, do what you love. I don't care what your condition is right now. Do whatever you can to raise those frequencies. I hope you watched that video about Morris, Tony, because he is a great inspiration to me. And the other thing that has made us so sick is what they've been pumping into us. We have all of these drugs. I have a meme that I put on social medias saying that, give me a sec. I got thousands of memes. Oh, I know what it is. It's a healed patient is a lost customer. And in my my time in the government and pharmacy taught me that we're customers. That's what we are to the entire medical matrix. Yes, there's some good people in there. And when I say the matrix for a reason, I want you to understand that the medical matrix is not big pharma. Big pharma is one sub-matrix within it. It's the diagnostics. It's the you know, all of the machines and the diagnostics. People make big money on that. It is all of the sales reps that sell all of this stuff. They all have jobs. I did a video on, and I was surprised how many nutrition. Okay, when was nutrition real? Okay, they were operating on manipulated studies. And so, and that's what they were taught. If you were taught and received a medical degree of any kind, anything dealing with health, big pharma or the medical matrix taught you. I know for a fact that they fund the colleges heavily. They design the curriculums, and I know that because I was on a curriculum planning committee. And there was always people from big pharma and the medical device divisions in there. So anybody that has a degree in any kind of medicine, I'm not saying it's useless because I learned a lot, but what I'm saying is I understand that I was taught by people with their own interests in mind, not the patient. Let me check. All right, so Shelley, yes, they've poisoned us, and one of the biggest ways they poison us, the very first thing that those poisons are hitting is what? Our gut. And if you haven't looked at it, look at the video on the Clean Living Lab about the cold brewed coffee. Because coffee, especially the hot ones, coffee in itself can make the sphincter between the stomach and the esophagus get saggy, and that causes the acid reflux. There's ways to fix it. I've done that. I've also healed, and it's weird because I'm just recognizing that since I've stopped these plastics, I'm not getting, I had a hiatal hernia. And Tim, I would lay there in bed and Tim could hear it. When I was breathing in and out, he could actually hear the hiatal hernia and the rattling there. I haven't had it in weeks. And like I said, I've been off the plastics for 2 months now. So yes, you're absolutely right. We're going to do one on gut. And thank you for that suggestion. I need to know what's wrong so that we can help. Do I see no, it's a lie, Tahoe. Nobody's got jobs healing with med beds. If it is, it's a man-made med bed. Let's put it that way. Or this is just more, it's more BS. I don't know who's saying it. Just be more for people. No. It's kind of, we don't know. Trump posted a video on the med beds. And he did say that they would be in hospitals. So the hospital system is changing. My understanding is that a medical background may be required, but I don't know because, so you never know because there's so much information out there. But I hope we can meet in person too. But the med beds are not about the organ systems in our body. It's about the brain. So there's people, I would think, if anybody would be qualified to administer and med beds, it would be people that are into the neurological sciences, into the brain, and what the brain does. From my research, I'm convinced that the med beds are a tuning fork, and that our own brains are doing it. They're mimicking that frequency, and they're healing us. And of course, it's much, much stronger and much more than we can reach without the beds. They're done on in many different ways. And that's one type, and that's going to be so that I can see you guys are interested in the med beds. My next Dan video is going to be about Dan's and my discussions about the med beds. And I said it last week. I'm going to keep saying it. The last time Dan gave me meaningful feedback before he was diagnosed in January, what he told me was that we need to let people know that they're real. So they are real. There's nobody I trusted more than Dan Willis in this world as far as all this stuff goes. I would trust him if I had a fortune, I'd trust that man with it. Let's put it that way. So as far as the doctors, no. And also I have met people that have purport, because of course they're never pictures. And I can't, the person that I met there was a couple. So let me just say there was a couple, and I'm leaning towards the fact that it is real. But a lot of people, in fact, Melanie Charis told us this, okay? And I trust Melanie. She's the one the humanitarian that rescues the children that have been so brutally harmed. And what happens is people that get anywhere near this technology have a frequency scan that's done. So, your brother-in-law could, think he knows everything he needs to know, but and he's going to be in charge of them. But no, if he doesn't have a benevolent, elevated frequency, he's not going to get anywhere near the med beds. And I strongly believe that. I strongly believe, because of what I know about it, because of the infiltration that I've seen, and how they don't give up. Okay, Melanie told us that even those kids, they're brought to a ship off planet, and once they receive that treatment, they're moved around on other ships because they're afraid that they will be infiltrated. You got to keep in mind, stop thinking about the physical. Stop thinking in the physical realm, because that's not what it's all about. The physical is nothing more than an illusion that separates us from the truth. So don't worry about your brother-in-law and CFO of my former Medicare Advantage plan. No, by biz can approve. If that's occurring and you see a person that is an asshole, let me say, okay, that's not a real med bed. That's a man-made thing. And like I've said before, they can be beneficial. Some of these technologies can be beneficial. I got a text from a friend of mine that deals with that. She owns the Tesla Center, the Tesla Biohealers. She owns a center in Sarasota, Longboat Key, actually. And there's a guy masquerading as Dr. Lou, the inventor of it. And she said, what can we do? Do you know anything about this guy? She knew I had the investigative background. 15 minutes, I fingered this guy. He's a chiropractor in Georgia. And he has nothing to do whatsoever with Tesla. And so I said to her, this is his license. Get Dr. Lou's lawyer on this, because the guy will probably, and I would also report him to his regulatory board. So there's lots of bad people lying about these med beds and profiting from them. And if the person is an asshole, it's not real. Sorry, I don't often curse because I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but I think that kind of covers the whole gamut of the type of people that are trying to profit on the suffering of people. Okay, let's see. The aloe water. I will find the info, but do-it-yourself aloe water you can prepare. I don't like the taste of it. But you put maple syrup and pineapple. Good. Yes. Post it, Tahoe, because was it Tahoe that said that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And here's why. Aloe is beautiful. I don't buy it, but we know it's healing. I grow it and I use it on skin. And yes, when my dad was ill from chemo, we did give him aloe, and it did help. We made an aloe mixture. He hated it. I made little cups of it and I mixed it up because I don't buy processed stuff. So I mixed the aloe gel up and put a little stuff. I didn't think of the maple syrup though, and the pineapple. That is amazing. I'll find the recipe if you don't post it, and we should do that. But it did help him. It did help. I added a couple other things into it. I always, make a concoction with numerous components in it. But here's the thing. That recipe that you're talking about with the aloe is beautiful, and here's why. Because pineapple has all of those digestive enzymes in them. And so pineapple is an additional, perfect addition to the aloe. It's a good recipe. I like that. I'll look it up. Let's see. So do we heal the gut or the liver first? Good question. Let me think here. Okay. It depends. You thought it would be the liver. Well, you have to understand. Yeah, I know. You heard that the gut is our second brain and all this stuff. There's so much that goes around. And here's what I know. Okay. The liver and the kidneys. So don't undersell the kidneys. They are what clears out almost all toxins. Yes, we expire some, so we breathe out some, we sweat out a few, but it's negligible compared to the duty of the liver and the kidneys. So to me, the primary thing is stop the poisons. Don't worry about your liver. Your liver will heal itself. You just need to give it a break. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. We all do it. We got to give it a break from these poisons, from these processed foods. And it has the capacity to heal itself. The problem is we've overwhelmed it. It can't keep up everything we eat, literally. Almost everything that we buy anywhere or go out to eat has got some kind of toxin in it. And so, I drink a cleansing tea. It's called Cali Tea. I can put it in there. We drink it like water. And what that does is as the body removes things, it helps it move through the system and get them out of our body. So we drink Cali regularly. It has three or four different herbs in it that are excellent diuretics. You'll pee a lot. Your blood pressure will go down. I can't say these things, but you may notice that your blood pressure goes down because of how much you will excrete from your body. I had a friend, she was diabetic, and 2 days into it, she couldn't believe her sugar was dropping. So I don't look to each organ necessarily. I look at a more holistic point of view. And yes, if you look, well, and here's another thing. Don't worry, liver, kidney, heart, whatever. The thing is, all diseases have some element of inflammation. So on the channel, on the lab, I put some herbs. I am creating my own anti-inflammatory medicinal garden, and it's in a very small area inside my pool. And it has numerous, probably 6 or 7 things that are foods that are all very good anti-inflammatory. If I had to call out the most important one to grow, it would be holy basil. Okay? That's the strongest anti-inflammatory. Not just any basil, holy basil. Hang on, I need a little coconut water. So you eliminate the toxins, you eliminate the inflammation that is behind almost every single disease that I have seen. And if you eliminate those things, the body will heal itself. We got to quit looking at things like we can take one ingredient, one supplement. And let me tell you about the supplements, guys. Don't listen to somebody. I did something on X. This guy, he's got a huge audience. Nick Holzer. He's a master in, he got his master's in pharmacy. And he holds him out as an expert. And I have a friend that sends me all of his stuff, right? And I just say, okay, yeah, okay, that's good. I take a mental note, let me see if I find anything. But she sent me one recently that stood out as just not washing with me. And that was, he put this study about ivermectin and mebendazole. And everybody wants these things to work. What they don't understand is it's big pharma. Okay, those are drugs, and they're manufactured by big pharma. They are not pure. They don't have the alkaloids, and they're promoted as natural. Well, there's a bacteria that does create the ivermectin, but I can promise you it's made synthetically in a laboratory. And when that happens, all of the things that nature puts in there to help that are gone. And not only are those beneficial components of a natural product gone, but then there's all of these extraction chemicals that remain. Yeah, they wash a lot of them, but it's impossible to remove them all. So I looked at this guy's study, right? And I said, yeah, this doesn't sound right. I went to the original study, which I always do. I'll put a link to what I found in this. So the study, as it turns out, was a relatively small group, but that doesn't matter. I'm okay with small studies. But they were teledocs where the people self-reported their results and their cancers of all the things. They self-reported their cancer is getting better. Now, anybody that knows anything about cancer knows it's insidious, and you can't tell that it's getting better through scans. Okay, without scans, you just can't unless you have really highly evolved powers. So they were self-reported results, and anybody that knows anything about science, and a pharmacist should, anybody that knows that understands that that is the most bogus type of study you can ever have, because there's so many factors. How do we, some of the patients, and here's the other thing that I couldn't believe. First of all, there's a placebo effect, and that's why self-reported studies don't work. Because if you think it, you can actually, medicines or things sometimes work if you believe they do, if the power of belief is that strong. That's how faith healers work. But the other thing with these studies was that 2/3 of the people were on some kind of allopathic treatment. They were on chemo, or they were on, they had surgery, or they were getting radiation. How can you conclude that it's the ivermectin or the mebendazole that has healed your cancer that you haven't had a scan on if you're also getting chemotherapy? How can you attribute that to the anthelmintic? You can't. So then I went further, guys. There were 5 researchers in this study. You must disclose your affiliations. Every one of them, all 5 people, were affiliated with this company that sells supplements that this guy was selling for everything under the sun. I mean, I couldn't believe it. So what I'm saying to you is there isn't one thing you can take. There isn't one product that's going to heal anything in your body. It's going to take an active effort on our part to remove the toxins and to eat clean, and then our body will begin to clear itself. We've got to eat clean. We got to remove the toxins, and water isn't the way to do that, because you've also got the plastics. Those jugs, I was telling someone maybe last week, I said it. I sat there and I looked at my when I got on this whole plastic kit. It took me months to convince Tim that they were an issue. And I guess finally he checked with his guru, raw vegan girl that he watches, and that I'm a little jealous of, by the way. But I see these bottles of plastic with my distilled water lined up. And finally, that's what's convinced him. And I hope to show you the filter that we're using. I did a lot of research on it, and it does remove the plastics, a good portion of them anyway, that we can. So, no, there isn't a supplement that you can take, and those supplements aren't clean because they were made in a lab. They use drugs they use chemicals, harmful chemicals, to extract them, and you can never get them out. So I don't take them. I do take vitamins because I have a weird blood issue that is resolved. My dad had it, and I think it comes back to my time when I was in the Army. But I use one product, which uses plant-based supplements in glass bottles, and I only do it for vitamins. I take a multivitamin, I take a zinc supplement that they have, and I take a blood builder that they have, as well as beets. Beet juice is great if you have anemia or blood issues. And I bump that with vitamin C because vitamin C increases the absorption of B12. So if you have a blood idiosyncrasy of some kind, of something that might have happened in your life, which I believe did happen to me, then I do take a multivitamin. I have, because for so many years, I was a vegetarian, vegan, even raw vegan at times, but I was never really good about it. I was your token, let me eat this processed fake Frankenstein meat. That's not a vegetarian, guys. I mean, maybe it's a vegetarian, but you're eating bunches of poisons. So for me, it's the clean diet. It's eliminating the plastics and eliminating the toxins in our body. Okay, enough about that. Let's see. No, I don't have an email for the channel. If you send it or put recipe do-it-yourself here. Yeah, put it here and I'll copy it. That's great. Or put it anywhere. I'm really getting good about the things. I have an email that I set up for ExPharmacon, but I don't check it regularly. And so, you know, the best way to do it, you'll get me quicker and I'll be more sure to catch it, is post it somewhere in one of the comments and I'll find it. Okay, we went past that and my thoughts about that whole thing. Let's see. I'm getting a little bit behind here. Let's see where we are. Tell me. Oh, we got the maple syrup. We got that. Do you have an email for the channel? Helen has been knocked over with headaches the last few days. I don't think it's related to solar flares. Yeah, I don't either. Coronal mass ejections. Exactly. I have no other logical explanation. Been through it before. Okay. So what I'd do, Helen, is the first thing I would do is I would start eating the heck out of holy basil. Ginger, and if you can stand turmeric, use that too, because that is your natural inflammatories. So something's going on in your brain and your brain is inflamed, and that's why you're getting pain. It's pushing on all of the vessels in your brain. And it may even, who knows, if it's inflamed enough, it could even put pressure on the skull. So to me, get rid of the inflammation. If you got to take a couple aspirin or whatever, the best way to do that, I believe, is with aspirin. I'm not big on ibuprofen. Aspirin's been along forever if you have to take one. But start feeding yourself anti-inflammatory foods. That's what I would do about a headache. Yeah, Dan's information is vital. Okay, Shelley. You've had pressure too. Well, here's the thing, Shelley. You are dealing with a highly stressful situation right now. And when that happens, stress in itself causes inflammation. So I think that, you know, you need to try some calming practices. Laughter, you know, we talked about laughter with your dad. And like I said, ginger, turmeric. And I'm not talking about taking pills on these things. Please understand that. I'm talking about the real stuff. If you want to buy a powdered turmeric, that's fine. We buy and Tim eats it, not me, because I hate the taste. But we buy the turmeric in the stores, and he grates it, and puts it in his food. The same thing we do with the ginger. We grate it and we put it in everything. Same thing with basil. There's not a day that goes by that I don't eat basil. But what I learned from my exploration of the inflammation garden is the holy basil is much better and stronger than the one I've been eating. But I have to say, my inflammation has also decreased dramatically, and I'm kind of putting it in a time frame of these plastics that we're cutting out. The guy's selfish and greedy and admits he's overpaid bonuses. This is a relative of Tahoe's that's a doctor. Admits he's overpaid. Why the heck hasn't he helped you is my question. If overpaid bonuses, it paid for mansions and 80 vacations a year, but he couldn't help you, right? He can somehow go in, see what insurance has paid on my out-of-state Medicare. That is a violation of privacy if you don't have a doctor-patient relationship with him. He cannot go in there. So you may, it really, you don't need an attorney, sweetheart. You memorialize those things. Has he ever treated you is the first question, because if he's in the family, there's a good chance you have a patient doctor relationship, which will kind of erase this. We'd have to check the laws to see how long that lasts, actually. But if he's never created what they call a file on you, a profile on you at his either his home or his business, that he has to be able to provide a documentation that you had a relationship. If he can't do that and you've never had that relationship, it's real simple. You document if he's put it in writing that he knows your records, and you contact the Board of Medicine and you'll file a complaint. It's called a HIPAA complaint. Let's see. Helen's been doing acupressure on her third eye and all over my head. I'm a bit better now. I've never done it. I've thought about it, but to be honest with you, that was a long time ago, and I'm doing so much better now. I mean, I'm healthier than I was 10 years ago, and that's hard to say, but that's when I came out of my cloud, my fog, and I began making active changes. And the first one was my mood and the quality of my life with Tim. And then I began, and he was kind of a health freak when I met him. So that's when all that went down, and I feel a lot younger now. But I never did the acupuncture or pressure. Oh, acupressure. Okay, yeah, I've done a little bit of that. I've done this one, and there's different things that you can do. Oh, by the way, yeah, this one. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm holding that skin in between those. That's for headaches, guys. I forgot. Double check me, because I'm old. But I believe that when you put pressure on that, it helps relieve headaches. But again, still clean yourself up, get rid of the inflammation. I don't know who Barbara O'Neill is. Slippery elm for repairing the gut. Okay, here's my thoughts on that. Slippery elm is one of the things that I added to my dad's concoction. Okay, but here's what you have to understand. And I don't know Barbara's background, but herbs do have contraindications. For instance, I think I told you about this already, Shelley. Licorice. Who would think that licorice could be an issue? Well, if you've got high blood pressure and you eat a lot of licorice, or you have heart disease and you eat a lot of licorice, it could give you a heart attack. So what I'm saying is, slippery elm, yes, it is effective, but please, please, please check the side effects of it, and check specifically contraindications. And those search engines that I gave you on side effects specifically and interactions, put the slippery elm in there and see if there's any side effects or contraindications. If you listen to anybody that is telling you to take various supplements, always run them in there to make sure it's not contraindicated with something else that might be happening in your body. Okay, got the Aloe Water 3-Way by Maniza Ahmed. I used to study her work. Just need whole leaf aloe, most produced sections organic maple syrup. Oh, that's easy enough. Okay, so tell me this, Tahoe, if you would. Is she taking the center of the aloe out, or is she putting it in a food processor and chopping up the skin too? I can look too and see if the skin has additional benefits. Let's see. Got to watch my figure. Don't we all, Jeff? Don't we all? Coors Light or Bush Light? That's why you drink light. I'm surprised you drink Bush. Didn't Bush Light? Didn't they have that transsexual that they what was his name? Anybody remember him? That they used him for a commercial and almost lost everything. We're going to Busch Gardens on 4th of July. They're having fireworks and they have a bands. This is their music thing, and we've seen a lot like Leonard Skinner, and we had a pass for 1 year, and we would go every weekend to see another old kind of has-been type band that I used to love. So I don't know about that Bush beer, but that's why you're watching your figure. It is worth getting a CRP test. Told this, good to check inflammation markers. My mom loves spraying Raid, Lysol. I run from it, and she has no cancer. Go figure. Well, you know, I'm assuming your mom is probably 20 years older than you. She doesn't have as many toxins because she had probably 20 clean years in her life. From the time most of us were children, infants, I'm a little older, so my mom did eat pretty clean. It's when those darn TV dinners came out and all that processing. So, and I could see that she doesn't have it because everybody's body reacts different. There's so many dynamics to it. And there was something I was going to say when you asked about that, when someone asked about that one, do I take slippery elm? Here's the deal. The creator put numerous, just like if you have high blood pressure, there's probably 100 drugs that your doctor could put you on for that high blood pressure. It's the same with nature. There's lots of plants, and almost every part of the world has some sort of has remedies that for every ailment. So slippery elm is good, but don't think you have to put it or that one thing will do it. Holy fellow. I had no idea there were so many basils either. And so you did watch that video. I'm glad to hear that you watched that. And those little guys are popping up like crazy. Remember, if you try them, don't bury them in the sand. Sprinkle the seeds on top because they need light and they can't be too deep. So sprinkle the seeds on top and then just sprinkle a tiny, tiny bit of soil over them. And they're popping out like crazy. I can't believe it. It was 3 days and the whole tray of basil is full with little baby things coming up. And also what they are, you can do this. You can make if you like microgreens, which are the youngest, you know, it's kind of like these lunatics that drink baby's blood stuff for, you know, because it's the healthiest. The plants probably have stress too as they grow. So people eat microgreens. You can make yourself a tray. They sell microgreen trays, but it's any tray that you can use. But it has to have some draining in it. And you put those you do the same thing. You put the soil or the medium, sprinkle them above there. And when they get little like that, you have a whole tray of little microgreens that you can cut off. And with the basils, you can do that every few days and eat microgreens because they grow so quickly. So, yeah, they're going wild. And there's lots of basils. And the odd thing was that every one of them had different activities. Some were better for inflammation. Some are better for bacteria as an anti-infective type thing. Some were better for digestion. Which basil was it? The lemon basil. That's another thing. Someone was asking about digestion. Lemon basil is good. And so is lemongrass. So there's lots of things you can do. Don't believe if somebody tells you that, oh, this is the best thing, I'd back off, okay? I know, because we're learning much more. And That's just not how science works. That's not how the body works. I need a small, trusted water purifier. Okay, Tahoe, yes. It's called Berkey, is what we use, Berkey. And I think they may even have portable ones. You can go to let me see if I can find the site for you. The site is myberkey.com. And they do have portable systems. They want, no thanks, I don't want to give my email address right now. But they have portable systems. There you go, portable systems. Actually, they have a travel Berkey for 1 to 3 people. That's a little big to travel. But they have a sport Berkey, which is 1 person. It's a BPA. It's plastic. I hate it. We actually took our Berkey and we changed the spout on it because I have an older one that I bought 20 years ago, and it had a plastic spout on it. We replaced it with a metal spout. There's the Berkey Light, and there's the Go Berkey Kit. Oh, the Go Berkey Kit, but it's a little expensive. But you can travel with it. It's like $234. If you want to use the Sport Berkey, it's got the BPA free, leaching. What I would probably do, to be honest with you, is I would probably take the filter in it, which is probably in the top of it, and I would find a metal, copper or stainless container that you can put that filter on and use that. And that's $46. So if you need a small one, that's it. So the Berkey system filters out most of the plastics. There's always going to be microplastics that are hard to get out. And that's why we use the tea. And also I did, a while back, I did a detox. It's not a pill that you take. It's a 6 or 8 week program of trying to move these things. Because once the toxins get in your fat stores, it becomes very difficult. And a lot of these things are high. If you watch the video, I'm sorry for the duplication, but a lot of these toxins that are in our food are what they call lipophilic, which means they love fat. Okay, so they go to the fat, and once they're in our fat stores, and don't forget, our brain and our entire nervous system is fat. Okay, we're made of lots of fats. They're necessary. They're the good fats. You don't have to worry about taking those guys off. But once they get in the fats, it's harder. So that toxin, that detox that I did included movement to break down the fat stores. And I understand some people may have more difficulty with movement. That's not a possibility. But let me just say this, because I do facial exercises, okay? And any movement that you can make, even if it's with your eyes or your face, if you're not able to move your body, if it's with your eyes, your face, or if you're even able to squeeze your butt in any way, which may not be possible, any part of your body that has, your whole body is made of muscles. If you can find a way to exercise those muscles, do it. You don't, if you remember from the old, what were those studies long ago they did where people just, what are they when you aren't running your butt off? Isometric exercises. Use them because they build muscle too. So that's the portable purifier. Nama J2 juicer. Yeah, Tim's big on the Nama. And it's really kind of expensive, so we don't have it. I have a Weight Watchers juicer, which is probably 40 years old, and it still works. Tim has a much bigger, more expensive one. I think I paid like $30 for this juicer, and it works great. Only problem I had was with limes, but so did his big one. So Nama is supposed to be a good one. Oh, we got N. Jang Superman. JN. What does JN mean? And I do think it's related to solar activity, and I've been using turmeric, vitamin C, and some other remedies. The headaches you're having. Dan never talked about the solar activity. Never did. What I have heard, what he did talk about, was how with all of the um, extraterrestrial um, visits that we're having, that these huge ships that they're using are throwing off the field, and um, that's what was causing the ringing in ears. Mine stopped. I had tremendous ringing in the ears for a while, but it subsided quite a bit. I haven't had it in a long time. I do move more, Patricia, and it makes me thirsty. Drink coconut water. And there's an amazing coconut water, guys. That's a chocolate coconut water. Give me one sec. I was going to put this out here and I didn't, but hang on. Okay, if you want a little treat, we found this thing. It's called Zico chocolate coconut. Now, we went through it. The only thing that I don't like in it is the guar gum. But I haven't heard that it's, like carcinogenic or anything like that. It's gum, and it's not great, but there is some, and it's in everything just about. But the other ingredients are coconut water, filtered water, cane sugar, cocoa powder, and natural flavors. So it's pretty clean for a pre-manufactured product. Maybe I'll take and one day do our own coconuts, but my coconut trees aren't doing so hot. We've been having a real drought down here in my particular area. So it's called Zico chocolate coconut. It comes in cardboard, not plastic, and we don't drink it like I drink Cali or like I drink coconut water. But it's like a treat if I want chocolate milk of some kind, and I don't want all that garbage in the processed chocolates that they have. So it's good if you want to give it a try. Let's see. I breathe. So this is Shelly. She breathed. She does grounding, and my 432 hertz. Okay. I used to have horrible anxiety, but I am great now. Good deal. This thing jumps on me. Oh, here we go. I'm not saying I don't get stressed, because I do, but know how I was. And that's the point. It's progress, guys. Don't expect so many people. I studied with a lot of different people. I went to Fiji with Tony Robbins, and it was really a wonderful experience. But so many people, what happens when we're trying to manifest things, or let's not even use that word because it's kind of commercialized, but we're trying to make change, okay? We have a tendency to give up when we don't see immediate change. And what do we know? Nature is not immediate. It's slow. So if you're noticing a decrease in the stress, then you're on the right path. And just continue what you're doing. Add additional things if you want, whatever. Okay, there's Timmy. Timmy had to put on there. He's listening to me. My raw food guru didn't tell me about the microplastics. You did. I only knew that water sitting in heated plastic jugs was bad. I had no idea it still leaches into food and water. Yeah, that's. Oh, hi, Vin. How you doing? Hi, bye. How are you doing, sweetheart? I remember now that he's reminded me. He thought the Cali would remove the plastics and the Cali tea that we drink, and so he was never worried about it. And but when I showed him how much it was that the Cali removes from the blood, it's a diuretic, so it's got to get into the bloodstream. When it's in your brain, the Cali's not going to take it out. So I'm so glad you joined us, Vi. Let's see. I also changed. No, has nothing to do with me. Okay. I changed my food intake. Everything is real food. Good for you, Shelly. That's really hard to do. Good for you. I do better with fruits and veggies. I had a wonderful fruit salad for lunch. Meat seems to hurt my tummy. Meat will hurt your tummy. If you have never, and this will help Dad too, pick up a book called, I'll put a link in it to it to make sure you get the right one. It's called The China Study. It has nothing to do with China. Nothing to do with China. What it is it's the longest study that has ever been done on the relationship between food and diet. And it started, he was actually working, Dr. Colin Campbell is his name. And of course, the meat industry is big on him, but he was hired to do this study to create the food pyramid, for the foundation for the food pyramid. And he found out that there was a town in the Orient where young children were getting liver cancer, which was very, very rare. And so they did the study on it, and they found out that these people were eating like meat like crazy. And then they actually began running clinical trials and stuff. And so I'm not saying, I understand it's a really hard thing. And there are people are worried about protein. Don't worry about the protein. There's plenty of protein in our food, okay? We get way more protein than we need is the fact. But let me write that down because I want you guys to see that. If you want an opportunity to read it. It's fascinating. This book is the China study is not your typical unsubstantiated rubric. They show a picture of an artery, and it's completely occluded because he had a partner that or another researcher that he worked with. It was a cardiologist, and he has a special program. I don't know if it's still I don't still know if it's still going on, but you might want to check it, Shelley. But he had a cardiology program, and you were kicked off if you ate any meat. Okay, you were kicked out of the program. It was a study, and there's an amazing echocardiogram in it, and it shows the echocardiogram, and it shows an artery that is completely occluded. And it was like after 2 or 3 months, they did another one of not eating any meat. Maybe I think it was 6 months. I'm sorry. After like 6 months, they did another echo, and it was completely open without surgery. I'm just saying there's so much more that the medical system has lied to us. Anyway, Dr. Colin Campbell turned this in his results, and they completely manipulated his studies and created that food pyramid where there was so much meat in it because of the meat industry. If you remember when Oprah, she's a demon, I get all that, but she came out and she went against and started pushing vegetarianism and literally was sued by the meat industry, and they shut her up real quick. So if you want to eat meat, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm not saying stop it. What I'm saying is try to keep it under 9% of your diet. And we eat so much more. When we started eating meat and not vegetables and fruits and almost meat on everything and all these carnivore diets and all this crap, disease has just skyrocketed. So the China study, I'll put a link to it. And I'll put a link to the Berkey site too on there for you. Sometimes if you decide that you want to get a Berkey, this is how I got mine. Like I said before, I'm notoriously cheap, right? They're not cheap, but they're cheaper than what's under the counter. I can tell you that. Those systems that you put under the counter are thousands, and the Berkeys are hundreds. And I have one that could actually take care of a village. It could supply clean water for a whole small village. And they used to have a section, and I didn't check right now, of damaged or marked down stuff. It had a little dent in it, and I got like $100 off on it. So look for that if you want the Berkeys. Good for you. Lots of good fruits and veggies. You know, that's the thing. Many vegetarians don't eat vegetables. They eat bogus Franken meals. And when you eat meat, your tummy hurts. And there's a reason, because meat causes inflammation. I don't care what they tell you or what people they're pushing and for some reason feel, you know, I'm not necessarily saying it's only the meat. What you have to understand is those animals are loaded with hormones and drugs, literally loaded. So they don't go away when the animal dies. They're in all of their meat, in all of their tissue. So remember, 9% if you want to eat meat. Eat it once a day, eat a small portion of it, don't eat a huge porterhouse steak or something. And it does seem that the white meat does have less inflammation associated with it. Tahoe, will he find out and then out me to more family violence? No, you can make an anonymous complaint, Tahoe. Shelly doesn't do supplements anymore, and you're wise. It's, what I'm saying here now is, and I strongly believe this, is that the dietary supplement industry is the new big pharma. Those supplements are, I laugh at people. They want away from big pharma. They hate big pharma. They're demons and all this stuff. And then they turn around and they pump themselves up with stuff that big pharma is making. So to me, the supplements are the new big pharma. Barbara O'Neill, I don't know her. Cayenne pepper is also very good. I'm growing some of that, but I can't do peppers. I never grew a taste for them. What's her name? Barbara O'Neill. Okay. And let's see. Microgreens, best bang for the buck. They really are. People making big business at farmer markets, pennies, just rinse, and broccoli sprouts and others. Yes. And they're so easy. They're really, really easy to do. Microgreens are before the plant gets all of those chemicals in it, before it's sprayed with pesticides, before it's sprayed with fertilizers and all this stuff. Those microgreens, they pop up and they are like a newborn baby. They're beautiful. Oh, that was Bud Light. Okay, Shelly, thank you. I didn't know that. But you know what? Bud Light is made by Bush anyway, right? So same thing. No skin. I will send to you. Oh, okay. I get it. And Tahoe says, she's 80 and eats trash and TV dinners. Mean as ever. A narc abuser. Get out, really. That's, strange things happen. She probably doesn't get too worried about anybody. She probably has very little worry in her life if she's nasty and doesn't care about other people, huh? Chia seed. Yes, when I do the lab videos, I have different chia seed. I have chia seed, and I actually have combinations with chia, flax, and one other seed in it. So they're great. And I just put them on a salad, put them in a meal. I keep them on the counter there, and I just put a little bit in everything. I guided my friend along with his doctor to get him off 7 RXs. Amazing. You know what, Tahoe? I have to say this. I was worried about you for a really long time, and so was Patricia. And your transformation is beginning to show, sweetheart. It really is. They had him on 2 blood pressure medicines, 3 cholesterol, only 1 low aspirin now. His doctor agreed he didn't need it all. And that's a good doctor, okay? If you can get a doctor to help you get off that crap, then you've got a healer. People need to question, double check, and question these doctors. The old saying is, there's a reason they call it the practice, okay? They're practicing on us. I didn't buy the plastic one, Berkey. Okay. Can I trust their plastic? I don't trust any plastic, Tahoe. I don't trust any plastic at all. If you want, we can look at it and go to the plastic thing on there and see exactly what it is. But especially if you're going to be using it for travel and it's going to be in heat, BPA is okay. But when it begins to sit in heat, it's going to break down every single plastic there is. Vita Coco. There's something about it. I haven't done it a long time. Oh, wait. Tim said something. He wants his Nama juicer, and Cheapo won't let him have it because we have 2 juicers already. I have a Champion juicer, and it's 40 years old. It's a masticating juice machine. See, it works just fine, doesn't it? Vita Coco has a coconut eater. maybe Tim can. He's big on this stuff. There's something with the Vita Coco. When you look at it, be sure that you always look at the ingredients. What I'm drinking right now is organic coconut water. Period. There's nothing in it. So, and I get this at Aldi, which there was so much going around about Aldi. I call it Aldi. I don't know why, but about Aldi with them having GMO stuff, and so I'm real concerned about that. And I watch very carefully. But I'll tell you what, they have a lot of organic stuff there, much more than Sam's Club or something like that. And so I get this there at Aldi. It's called Simply Nature, and it's organic. And there's nothing but coconut water in it. Yes, it's in cardboard, but and I would suspect there's some kind of coating on that, and I would prefer to drink it right out of coconuts. And we have a couple coconuts in there that you just drill, put a straw in it, and you can get it. So check out that Vita Coco. For some reason, I remember it wasn't the cleanest. You know much about the Wave Watch? Ugh. Yes, I do, and it infuriates me. My stepsister bought it. It's Wi-Fi. So you're using healing frequencies, and you're wearing Wi-Fi on your body now. So no, it's a scam. I don't like it. I know Jayco's selling it, but I will not do it. I'm sorry. My frequencies don't come from outside. They come from inside. Oh, Jason Shirka. Okay. And his, here's what I want to say to you guys about this extraterrestrial. Just because people say they have extraterrestrial experience doesn't make it true. I don't know this Shirka man. I've heard the name. But what I can tell you is the people that really have had extraterrestrial contact, they're not selling you anything usually, okay? A friend gave me a Jack LaLanne juicer. I remember those. It's awesome. You still have it, huh? I'm not sure if it would be good for citrus. You know, the lemons work. For some reason, this one lime, because I like my mojitos sometimes, both the virgin and not, and for some reason, I got no juice out of these. It could have been the particular ones that I had, but it jammed up the juicer, the limes. And it also jammed up Tim's mega juicer. So, oh, and there's used ones for sale. That sounds great. I love that. That's the price I like. It should be able to work for citrus, Helen. And then let's see. I recall seeing a Terra wand. People, yeah, there's a Terra wand that people are using and wanding their drinking water and bath water, shower before and after with a device showing how beneficial the water is. I can't recall the name of the one. There's lots of the wands out there. You're free. Okay. Look up Dr. I'll put it. There's a video that I did a long time ago. Okay. So Dr. Masaru Emoto, he's gone now, but he did studies, and there's a lot of graphics there. He took pictures, high-speed photographs of water crystals, and these water crystals were done with nothing but intention. And you can see by these photos, for instance, there's a photo of water that they took bottles of water, containers of water, and they exposed them to all different frequencies. And first they did it verbally, and they would play loud, heavy metal music. And oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. The how black and ugly the crystals were under high-speed photography. And then there was another one, I will kill you. They would say those words to the water, and you could see the crystals would form into dark, ugly stuff. And love and gratitude, they would say that to it. And they were beautiful, beautiful crystals. For many years, I wore a snowflake crystal on my neck to remind me of the impact of frequencies on water. But the bottom line is, after they did the speaking to the water and noticed these, you know, changes that were related to the various messages. Then they put paper and wrote the words on there, and they had the exact same thing. And then they're like, boy, this is odd. Water can't read. We know that. And then what they finally determined is they thought those concepts to the water, and they had the exact same results. So it wasn't speaking it, it wasn't writing it down, it was their own vibrations that were changing the water. So I'm not big on mechanical devices, Wi-Fi devices, and all that stuff. I just am not. Wands, for frequency wands. I am my own frequency and the frequency of everything around me. Dragonfly, hi there. I hadn't seen you before there. Tic-tac-toe, what are we doing with that? I don't understand. Pigs have no glands. Definitely stay away from pork. Okay. I can't speak to that, but I believe you. They have no glands. My ex-husband had no glands. He had no sweat glands. He was one of those people that didn't sweat. Oh, no sweat glands. There you go for the pigs. I could listen to you all day, Spirit. Thank you, Tahoe. I love chia seeds, Patricia, and hemp, hearts, and flax. Yes, hemp was the third one. Thank you, sweetie. It was hemp. Thank you for your kindness and support. Love you guys. Isn't this an amazing group, guys? It's just amazing. How did I deserve you? Now, Jeff does chia seeds with cayenne pepper, a couple splashes of apple cider vinegar. Use the Bragg's if you can. The Bragg's is much cleaner, and it has the mother in it, which is the that stuff on the bottom that settles out. So always use Bragg's. It really, really is better than the processed apple cider vinegars. Honey and honey, if you like honey, Manuka is so healing. It's pricey, but it's really good. And I'm doing a video in the lab on Manuka soon too, and how to pick the best ones. And all that is Manuka is a plant that certain bees are grown with that has specific components in it, and it helps them create this really real. And in some countries, they actually rate the Manuka based on the healing properties of it. So let's see. And water in a coffee cup every day. Perfect. That sounds really good. Costco has organic Kirkland brand, only coconut water. Okay, there you go. No, that's it. No added sugars. That's what you want to make sure of. Wave Watch says no Wi-Fi. Now, see, I don't know, because when my sister bought it, maybe she didn't have the Wave Watch, but I asked her to check it out, and hers did have Wi-Fi. So, you know, personally, I'd rather play my frequencies. I'm not big on this mechanical stuff and watches. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. It could have a chip loaded with the solfeggios in it. So that is definitely possible. It could be like a little radio or a little CD player. So it's definitely possible. But aren't you wearing a battery or something on you? I mean, I'm just more into natural stuff, I guess. But I mean, if it, here's the thing, Tahoe, if it helps you, that's your barometer. Not what I say and not what anybody else says. If you want to try it and it helps you, but personally, I'll put also in this my video on solfeggios. Seems like you already know them, but I'll just stick that in there in case you want to review it. Okay, Jeff, how much water do you add? Okay, good. You guys are great. Yes, the water and ice studies. Amazing about love-hate, isn't it? Unbelievable. Jeff, it's just a regular coffee cup, Shelly, about 2/3 full. Okay. Yes, saw what our negativity and positivity has on water and was really interesting. Bragg sold out to big pharma. Oh, big dollars, did they? But the thing is that if I don't know who they sold out to. I've heard Fairchild is the best, ACV, which is the vinegar, the apple cider vinegar. I don't know, but I'm going to check. We don't drink a lot of it. I used to take shots of it with oil. There is a time, and this is the thing. I literally stopped my dad from having surgery for bladder stones. And I did it with Bragg's olive oil, Bragg's and olive oil, a shot of it 3 times a day, and a gallon of water with lemon in it. And what that did is the oil that I put in the Bragg's um, lubricated so that it wasn't so painful coming out. And the acidic water with the lemon juice, copious amounts. And his doctor was so angry because the nurses were coming in that night and they were saying, oh my goodness, look at his catheter bag. It's loaded with sediment in it. And he was out of pain in less than a day of taking this. And the doctor was PO'd when we canceled the surgery. He went away and he never had it. Yeah, Tahoe, Manuka it's really rich. Tahoe, it's very rich, and it has amazing. It's superior in many ways to regular. And the problem I have with the honeys now is these Africanized bees. We had our whole side of our house was covered with them. We couldn't get a beekeeper to come and get them because they said that they're invasive, and they're in South Florida. That's where they put all these things. And we couldn't even get somebody to save the hive. So they say it's no good. You don't want it. So that's why I kind of like the Manuka. I want to check that Fairchild. Here, Pico, he's got a big mouth. Fairchild ACV. Maybe Daddy's coming home. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of seeds. Let's set about 15 minutes. Good idea. Good idea. Add cayenne, vinegar, honey, and microwave. Microwave, Jeff! What are you doing with a microwave? I'm just going to say I don't ever, we never use the microwaves. It kills everything in your food. Remember, let me tell you this. I had a patient one time that was giving their child chemotherapy. And they were putting it in pancakes to make the kid eat it, right? And the kid wasn't getting any better, and we were having no changes on the scan. And then finally, the mom said, "Well, I don't know what to do. I put it in her pancakes every day." And I said, "You're cooking her chemotherapy. Remember." And there's a video that the one that I'm working on with the oils. You want to see that because it talks about how chemistry works and how the bonds are in these different things. When you apply heat to things, it breaks down everything. So you're putting all that good stuff in there, but then you're cooking it and you're altering all the good stuff you just put in there. So I don't recommend that. If I made that concoction for myself, I would put it outside in the sun and I'd let the sun cook it. Or if you wanted to, I'd get a little pan and I'd put it in my pan and I'd heat it up. I don't ever microwave. And when I do, if I were to heat it up, I would do that on a very low temperature, but I probably wouldn't even heat it up. I don't know why it must be heated, but if it does, put it out in the sun. Master Li Shen says, pray over your water 3 times. Excellent as you drink it and be grateful. Yep, he's right. He is absolutely right. I saw that Apple smartwatches were leaving burns. Get out, really? That doesn't surprise me. I'll have to tell my daughter about that because they have one on my grandson and my son-in-law uses it. Okay, they're preloaded frequencies and you don't have one. You know what? Turn on YouTube and play them. You'll have them here. I have them on there. I have lots of links to them in this one video. Get out. Katy Perry bought Bragg's? You're kidding. Is that what you were talking about? Well, you know about her, don't you? We're going to be doing a video on this channel on the deal with the devil. You can make great desserts. Yes, you can. Chia seeds, when they sit and puff up and you sit them in fluid, they make a great pudding. It's absolutely great. Let's see. Katy Perry. Oh. You got to watch, guys, because now it's part of the Bragg's investor group. I see. Okay, Helen, thank you for that. So there's a group. She's just an investor. Bragg's Investor Group. I want to research that one. That's sad because they have the. We also use the aminos, the Bragg's aminos instead of using soy sauce. So that kind of really bums me, guys. And because I don't trust anything she's associated with as far as I can throw it. You can put chia seeds on toast, muffin, bagels, and about everything. Yeah, chia seeds are really good. I know someone that had yearly kidney stones, but after lemon water daily, bam, all went away. Exactly. Doctor said the lemons would put them out of business if they got around. Isn't that something? Medicine is big business, isn't it? And they admit it. They know it. I haven't made those desserts, but they look good. You know what I made? It came out a little dry, so I have to do a better one. But also tapioca I use as well to make some puddings. Yeah, YouTube has thousands. Oh, Shelly, the playlist. Did I give you the playlist that I have? Because music playlist. There's a playlist of nothing but music that I've picked out. And there is different types. For some reason, and it's because I believe that in another life, I somehow had some purpose in a place called Lemuria, which is now gone, just like Atlantis. And we had Dan and I had a discussion about that too. But the Lemurian frequencies, if you've never heard them, they are angelic. I swear they are just beautiful. So check out that playlist and see if you like any of those. I'm big on 528 instead of 427, but 427 isn't that more for change, whereas 528 is more healing, was my understanding. Let's see. You can put chia seeds, but if you put dry on food, they can bind you. Good to know. See, I use them. They don't bind me, but again, I don't eat a lot of meats or anything like that. So I had a friend one time that we were at the fair, and I was eating, a great big, not too big, but a salad. And when she found out I was vegetarian, she said, "You must be on the crapper all day long." And I said, "No, not really, but so it just depends on your entire diet whether they'll bind you, I guess." Plain Greek yogurt, what brand, Chobani? Okay, so that's Tahoe talking to Patricia. That's yours. I don't eat yogurt, but I eat coconut yogurt if I eat any, and only if it's just the coconut with no additives. I was going to make my own yogurt. Yes, make your own. Too busy, but you can make several batches, saving a portion. Yes, exactly. I don't know what Ed Group is. White House vinegar too. White House, okay. Now the thing here is why I always loved Bragg's is it had the mother in it, which is that sediment in the bottom. And that's what we always understood to be the really beneficial part of it. So do these things, the White House and the Fairchild, have the mother at the bottom? Hi, sweetie, come on in. He's in the pool. Yes, white light frequency, Alana Fairchild. It touches me. I don't know why, but it absolutely touches me. Yes. And her dad was or is a pastor, Katy Perry. I know. Is that unreal? Well, he said that she's possessed, and she's admitted in so much, pretty much, that she wanted to be like Amy Grant, a religious entertainer, and I forget what the exact words were, but she said it didn't turn out that way. She went the other way or something. Osawa Nama Shoyu is an excellent raw soy sauce. Okay. I think I've used that before, Helen. Osawa Nama. Why do I tell Tim? He's going to die when he finds out. Of course, here's the thing. My husband is run by his loins, okay? So it's taken me a long time to make him realize, and he still hasn't quite gotten it yet, that all his favorite movie stars, these women that he thinks are just absolutely, walk on water, he hasn't understood what they have to do to get there yet. That's what the butter is for, Patricia. Butter's good, by the way. Butter is good if you're heating things up. It's one of the few fats, that and coconut and ghee, and that's going to be out in the oil thing, are the ones that don't turn into toxic substances. And the reason is because they are um, uh, unsaturated oils. No, they're saturated. I'm sorry, they're saturated oils. And what that means is you got the carbon atom there, and every single uh, addition to that is taken with a hydrogen atom, which makes it very stable. There's no double bonds that the heat can break up or anything. So coconut and butter and ghee, if you're going to heat it up, they're your best options. You can also use olive oil, but keep it low. It is a mono saturated, and that only has one thing. You never see coconut yogurt. It's all over, but don't buy the big ones, the popular brands. You probably have to go to like a health food store if you don't see them. We get them at a little place around us called Sunflower, and this place gets all of the throwaways, not throwaways, but short dated and when there's new packaging or overstock, and they get it from a lot from farmers markets and Whole Foods and all of the healthy food stores. Mm. Yes, I will resend the playlist. That's Vi. Vi, it will be in the description of this video. Fairchild has the mother. Great. Good to know. Kirkland, really? You know, I'm torn about Kirkland products. We have a Sam's Club membership, and some of their products have turned out to be good. But I'm just always very leery of them. But that's Costco. We used to have a Costco. I thought Kirkland was Walmart products. Maybe I'm confused. Beyonce possessed too, admitted her alter ego. Crazy. You know, and I've done research on this video for the Deal with the Devil, and there's different things that happen that they do, but they actually do. And she's one of them that I believe has a demonic, she gives her body up to the dark forces, and that's how she performs. So it's more than just an alter ego. It's actually a possession, is my understanding. So Patricia buys Greek yogurt, the whole milk store brand, add all my ground mixture, cinnamon cloves, ginger, anise, half teaspoon, and orange zest, and 1/2 orange squeezed. Well, and frozen blueberries, yum, yum. So Patricia's really good about watching her diet, so that's good. I do flavonoid cocoa every morning. Really? Well, cocoa's good for you. We know that. I use it in addition to Cali. Another herbal Chinese product that we use is something called Nuplus. And basically what that does is the Nuplus has all of the nutrients that you need for the day. And I drink one shake. I add pure cocoa to it, not the organic cocoa. I add to it, and I add a little bit of powdered peanuts. And it's delicious. Chocolate milkshake. Sometimes I stick a banana into it and everything. So yeah, cocoa is very healthy. You just got to make sure it's clean, like anything. I told my brother about the Victoria's Secret models and never laughed so hard. Oh, for those that don't understand what that comment meant that Shelley made, there's a lot of people saying that the Victoria's Secret models, or at least a good portion of them, are transsexuals. And you know, I've never seen what they're carrying, you know, under those bathing suits, but it makes sense. They have no breasts. They are built. Half of them have no waist. They don't have the figure 8. It's very possible, and I believe it's definitely possible. When I see some of these transsexuals, and you can't tell the difference. Tim was absolutely shocked that RuPaul was a man, and he's open as heck about it. He was shocked. He couldn't believe it. No. We fought for weeks about that one. The So Delicious. I don't know about the So Delicious. Always check the ingredients. See if, I think they all add the guar gum. So see if that's the case. Again, the big ones. Here's what I have found that that a lot of these products, and it's just like the things that we had as a child, they've changed from when they came out. They come out, they're pushed as something healthy, then they realize they want more and more profit, and they start putting things, additives. So just always, even if it's something that is something you've used for a long time, check it. I was shocked. I used to, I don't ever eat them anymore, but I used to like mallow cups. And I think I posted somewhere on the difference of some of the candies that we had back in the 50s and what they are today. And they are nothing like what they were in the 50s. They're all chemicals now. Patricia keeps a tub of ground spices for her dandelion tea. Isn't she doing amazing in the morning, adding fresh lemon? So that's great. Dandelion is also quite good for you. You know that. And I'm going to start with some recipes on the anti-inflammatory teas once I get the garden going. So that's it. For those of you, we had a really good week in the Supreme Court. Be sure to check that video out if you haven't. More stuff coming out of personal emails with Dan. Yeah, I know. Weren't they the best? Oh my God, I love mallow cups. I've been a coconut eater from it was, I think, one of my favorite things ever. But coconut sometimes isn't coconut anymore unless it falls off the tree. But lots of good stuff going on. The immigration thing is letting up. There's going to be mass deportations on a new SCOTUS ruling that they had about the temporary status that people had that stayed for 20 years, temporary. Good stuff happening there. Still fighting the dark ones, but Rand Paul he's got his, I was on the fence about him, and you never know the psyops that are going on behind the scenes because of some of his votes, but he's got his teeth into Fauci right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the first ones we see going down. And for those that didn't hear, was it Brennan that had it up here? Bolton pled guilty. Only got 5 years, might not even do time if he bargains it, but he pled guilty, which is the precedent for everything that's happening. And of course, Iran, as everyone knows, broke this truce again. I don't know what the heck's happening with that, why we're waiting, but I'm sure there's a very good reason. And Dominion dropped its suit against poor Mike Lindell. That poor guy really got hit hard he's a true patriot. So that's what we have. We got more coming Tuesday, another live Tuesday, another live Friday. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. and Fridays are at 4 p.m. If that's working with everybody, just let me know. It seems to be good. We had a nice audience today. And what else? Clean Living channel. I'll put the link. It's already in the description of this video, as a matter of fact. So hop on over to that, and more stuff with Dan and Deal with the Devil. Let me give you my projects I'm working on right now. Manuka, there'll be one on honeys on the Clean Living Lab. This one, the Philadelphia experiment is coming up. Vi requested that one. I'm remastering one on holographics for healing. And this came from, this will have some stuff. It's called holographic projection, and it actually comes from Intel from Jen Han Iridian through Dan Willis to me. So that's a good thing. So good stuff coming up. Always drop in any of the comments what you want me to research, and I'm happy to do it. Patricia won't be able to come Tuesday. Sorry, I have a guest coming. Bring her on, bring him or her. Maybe a him, I don't know. But if it's a him, have at it, girlfriend. Thank you for all of your hard work. Of course, Rockstar, of course. It's not only my pleasure, it's my honor. Okay? I want you guys to know that this has changed this channel, and you guys have changed my life in a manner that I never thought I'd be in. Most people my age are sitting in nursing homes right now, and I have the fullest life that a person can ask for. So I'm grateful to all of you, and I love you all. Be kind to everyone, and trust yourself. Look within. Don't start pumping yourself with chemicals that are masquerading as healthy supplements. So that's all I have today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Helen. I love you. And I will see you again Tuesday. I'll be working real hard. Oh, old Irish friends taking you for lunch. Okay. Okay, so that's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, guys, I love you. Let me get my husband. He's drumming tonight. Friday's his drumming night. So he doesn't start till a little later, but I don't want him to be up there. He wouldn't do it during the live cam anyway. But all right, I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Things are getting better and better every day. I'm on X. I'm very active on X under the ExPharmacist if you want to go there. And I share a lot of different kinds of stuff that I don't share here. There's a little more humor that I might do some funny stuff there and stuff. But there's a lot of good information on there, but you really got to check it to make sure it's not BS. I know drumming, my drummer boy. You remember, huh? I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend and enjoy your moments, okay? Every moment you have, because you never know when they're going to stop. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye. All right, now how do we shut this thing off? End stream. Bye, guys.